A flat fender flare like this is going to give you some additional up travel before your tire hits your fender flare when you're off-road with your sway bars disconnected and really doing some flexing and articulating. However, having the tire hit the fender flare isn't really going to limit your up travel, so it's really just the annoyance, the sound, and the wear and tear on your factory flare that you're eliminating by having a flat flare like this one. A flat flare will also change the aesthetics of your Jeep. A flat flare is going to open up that wheel well, making you look like you have even more lift than you do. And this is sort of a hybrid flat flare and pocket flare. It has some pockets with rivets built into it as well. So this is going to be a little bit more of an aesthetic mod than anything else. If you are looking at flat flares, there are really two schools of thought. There are the people that think a metal flare is a better option because of course it's going to hold up, it's not going to bend or break when you're off-road and you make contact with an obstacle. However, there are also those people that say a metal flare, because it doesn't bend or break, will transfer any impact into the body of the Jeep, causing a much more expensive repair. So if you're looking for a flat plastic fender flare kit that also has the pockets, the rivets, includes the lights, and is really an all-inclusive kit, I think this is a really nice one to take a look at. These flares are made of an injection molded thermoplastic, which is very similar to your factory flare material, so they are going to look good no matter what color your Jeep is or what style build you're going for. These are UV treated, so they're not going to fade and get chalky like those factory flares would over time. The rivets that you see in the pockets on these flares are not functional. However, they do come with some corrosion resistant hardware, so you're going to get the look of a rivet style flare without having to worry about your hardware rusting. Something I really like about these flares in particular is that they do come with a new marker light that will use your factory marker light socket. So as I said before, there's a little bit of wiring to extend, but Rugged Ridge makes that very easy. However, you're not going to have to worry about getting some sort of aftermarket LED light and getting that wired up and working. All of the instructions are included, all of the hardware is included, and this kit is very easy to install. This is a very simple 1 out of 3 wrench installation that is probably going to take you right around 3 hours to complete. The first step is of course removing those factory flares off of your Jeep. In order to do that, you'll give your turn signal socket a quarter turn, remove it from its housing, and then just remove all of the nut and bolt hardware that's holding those factory flares in place. Now, that hardware goes through your factory flare and into a nutsert that's in the body. And if your TJ has some rust on it like mine does, you can have a little bit of trouble with those fasteners attaching to those nutserts and spinning in the body, which can make it difficult to remove them. For the ones that you can get behind with a pair of needle nose pliers or vice grips, you can hold that nutsert, making it a little bit easier to get everything apart. However, if you cannot get to the back of it, then you may have a little bit more trouble getting your factory fasteners removed. It's always a good idea to spray everything with a good penetrating oil well before you get started, especially if you have a little bit of rust. In the back, the process is very much the same for removing your factory flares, although you will have to pull that factory inner fender liner down a little bit to access all of the nut and bolt hardware. Once those factory flares are completely removed, it's a simple matter of installing the new flares with the included hardware. You'll hold them up to the side of the Jeep, use all of the factory holes and the included hardware to get them bolted on. These do come with some weather stripping that you'll put between the flare and the body to ensure that nothing is going to chafe. You'll do the installation on both the front and the rear, then go back and install all of the rivets. Again, they're not functional, but they do provide a little bit of a nicer look. And finally, extend your wiring for your turn signal and marker light socket to attach it to your new marker light housing. The whole process, while it does have a lot of steps and is going to take you around 3 hours, is something that anybody can do in their driveway with some traditional hand tools. These flares come in at right around $370, and in my opinion, that's not a bad price for what you're getting. You're going to get all 4 of your flares. They do come with the weather stripping that we talked about. They even come with the wire to extend your turn signal and your new turn signal housing, so you don't have to worry about purchasing anything separately. The rivets are corrosion resistant. They come with all of the hardware. This is a really well put together kit by Rugged Ridge, in my opinion. And if you're looking at other flat fender flares or other replacement fender flares, they're all going to be right around the same price. So I think these are priced fairly. So if you're looking to install a flat pocket style rivet flare on your TJ to open up the wheel wells and provide a little bit of a different look to your Wrangler, I think this is going to be a nice kit that includes everything you need and is fairly priced. So that's my review of the Rugged Ridge Hurricane Fender Flare Kit fitting all 1997 to 2006 TJs that you can find right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.